It is the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7, and this week we're going with a little bit of country flavor, is how I'm going to put that. I've got, is it Kevbo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah,
Kevbo Searle.
Yeah, that's right.
Whereabouts are you from, Kevbo?
I've lived here in Cookeville for probably about 7 or 8 years.
Originally from Tennessee? Or
Actually up north, Ohio, is where my family is from. My mom and dad are both from there. We moved to North Carolina for a little while, and then I landed in Tennessee when I was about 12.
Grown roots, local, and really kind of tied into the local music scene, I guess.
Yeah, starting to get there. Sort of regular over at Char on Wednesday nights, and that's been kind of like a songwriting community that's sprung up in the area.
How long have you been making music?
In earnest, my own stuff, only for about maybe 2 years or so, a little bit longer. But I've been playing music, ever since I was probably like 15 or so when I got guitar lessons.
You say for yourself, were you working with some other groups or?
Yeah, well, I played, as far as actually writing, really, it's only been about 2 years, 2.5 years. But, a lot of covers before that, a lot of I was in a two-piece band for a while and did the bar scene. And before that did, music in church and stuff when I was growing up. So,
kind of finding yourself.
I think so. Yeah. It's, you got to have comfort being in front of people. And, church definitely does that. You just kind of get that out of the way and aren't afraid of messing up in front of people. And then you build your confidence and you build your style.
And you've got a CD together, self-titled.
It's called Dangerous Lines.
Dangerous Lines. Yeah. You've got that together, and it's got country flavor to it, but I'm also noticing hints of like Americana in there.
Sure, yeah.
Really. So do you draw your influences from?
Yeah, really from a couple of like distinct American music sources. So like there's that term Americana. Roots music is another term that they use. It's sort of this hodgepodge of distinct American styles. So you've got, jazz elements, you've got country, you've got blues, Delta blues, you've got Appalachian, flavor in there too. And it's just this big mix. And that really appeals to me. It just seems very natural for what I want to do. And also for me, I've been inspired by some, very distinct songwriters as well. Because the lyric is always, for me, the starting point. Most of the time, it's the starting point.
So when you're crafting songs, you start out with lyrics?
Typically, yeah.
Now, you said you've only been writing songs for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Original tunes.
Yeah,
and you've got your first CD together, and I want to take tonight and give a listen to some of the songs that you have crafted and put together. And I thought we might talk about something from the disc. How about Sweet September?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about where that one comes from?
Sure. That's one of those songs where it's entirely fictional, which is what's interesting about having the freedom to write your own narratives. Is that you can be just like a short story writer or a novelist or something like that. You're just kind of making up these worlds that are resemble your real life, but are just these offshoots of a different life that could be or something.
So you apply the what if.
The what if, yeah, exactly. And so this one was kind of this character that I made up who was, certainly based on experiences that I had had, but, just sort of something new. And so I make up things like red suspenders, with Love Me Tender written on. It sounds cool, but it's kind of made up, but it creates an image in the readers, or in the listeners, rather.
So once you have your narrative and you have your song together, the melody, how does that come into play?
Well, the melody really has to come from the lyrics for me. Most of the time, that process, to be more specific about it, typically it'll be a line, a lyric, a phrase or something. But English is so rich and so varied as a language that it contains a melody already. You just have to kind of tease it out a little bit and emphasize certain things, and there it is. And so then from that, you can maybe get a guitar line or, repeat it a few times and add some variation, and a song starts coming together, and the lyrics seem to be like an organic part of it.
Well, let's hear the melody that came out of the narrative for Sweet September. This is Kevbo Searle on the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. It is the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. Each week on the show, we not only bring you local music, but we try to talk to the people that are making it. And this week, going around about country, Americana, kind of folksy type sound, talking with Kevbo Searle about the music that he's put together. And you, as we talked about, have some pretty good roots. You've lived here for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
And so getting out in the community, playing music, you started out, I think you said, as working with a two-piece. It was
the Reverend Stranger. It was called. Yeah.
Really? What kind of music did you?
We did a lot of covers. We covered Dylan, who was starting to become a big influence on me at that point in time. But then also some kind of oddball stuff too, of like, you know, the Mills Brothers. We did this song "Smoke Rings," you know, which is about, you know, puffing a smoke ring. It kind of had this jazz feel to it. It was a lot of fun. We had an accordion. The other guy I was with, Landon Aminette, he played accordion and bass. It was a lot of fun. It was a chance to kind of try on these different masks as a performer, you know, and these songs were very like kind of persona driven, you know, you were like imitating this sort of character.
Well, you referenced Dylan. I was going to mention, I had kind of heard some tinges in there that were seemed to be a little bit inspired. So he's one of your major influences.
Yeah, I would say number one probably influence on my songwriting. It's just his combination of delivery that is so distinct and so character driven, but also his just intuitive sense of where his listeners are is unbelievable to me. I mean, he's really, you know, like to a lot of people, you know, spoken to me, you know, of where I'm at in my life experiences. And so he's a very powerful influence.
Well, so we've got Dylan then as a pretty good influence. Mm-hmm. What are some of the other ones that you kind of lean towards?
From songwriting, Townes Van Zant's another really big one, who he was a very intimate kind of songwriter. His love songs are, you know, among the most kind of like tender, but also like just stab right through you kind of a song. And he definitely also had a country influence, you know, his background. He was kind of in the Austin, Texas music scene. So
you lean more towards the older crowd, like James Taylor, somewhere in that vein.
He hasn't been a specific influence. I guess the more, and I don't know how to classify James Taylor. The pop influence hasn't been as strong on me, but definitely, you know, older figures like Townes Van Zandt, Leonard Cohen, and also bands. You know, just I love like rock from, you know, the '60s and stuff. You know, the Beatles and Stones and Zeppelin, and you know, those kind of songs get me really excited, and just to be able to rock with cool lyrics, like that's a lot of fun to me.
You've gone more towards the guitar-driven, a little bit more acoustic side in what you've written so far.
Yeah.
And there are a few other instruments on there. You've got some people that play with you. And
yeah,
I want to get into who all works with you and
sure.
who all you've actually got on your CD and some of that. And we will do that coming up as we continue on the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. It's the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. This week, sitting down to talk with Kevbo Searle about the music that he's put together and discussing songwriting. We've talked about some of the influences that you've had, some of the songs that you've put together, and we'll take a look at another one of your songs. But you are working as a solo, but really you're not.
Yeah.
You've got quite a few credits. From what I saw on the credits for your disc, the Wilson Gang.
Yeah, there's a lot of Wilsons that helped me out with this one for sure.
So how about if we put out a little nod of the hat, as it were, to some of the ones that work with you?
Absolutely. A lot of my music that I kind of switched over whenever I started doing my own songs. Nate Dodson and Josh Wilson, I played with them, and Josh's brother Caleb Wilson on drums. Josh played banjo. He's a total multi-instrumentalist. But they have a big background in Appalachian and folk music. Like they play old time music and really great. Caleb doesn't, but Nate and Josh. So they were kind of like part of this band that I really loved the sound of with my music. And then my buddy Jeff played bass on this one, and Charity Brown helped the backing vocals. JP played some trumpet. So it was cool. It was a big conglomeration of really just friends who. So
they go out with you whenever you go to perform?
No, not really.
Is it just friends, you and the guitar?
Those friends aren't the same ones I play with now. I've switched over. I'm a little bit, and that's a little bit more of a sprawling kind of like whatever may happen will happen kind of band. And it was a lot of fun to play that way. Didn't know what exactly would happen, and it sounds great. But Now it's a little bit more tight with what I've been doing. It's just a 3-piece that I've been doing. So that's the more rock and kind of a little bit of a punch to the gut feel with this. I've got Clark Dykus on drums, and he's actually my housemate too. So we play together a lot, and he's got a real intuitive sense of what I'm doing, and he's very aware of like the lyrical aspect of it as well. Now,
I think you said you go out and you hit Char. You've done some performances there. Is there any place else that you've been in the area?
There is. I want to mention real quick too, John Van Doren. I've been playing with on bass as well. So he's the other part of the 3-piece, and he's been a great addition to my sound. Char mainly is what I've been doing now. I played at Poets as well a couple times. We had a good show there the other night with my buddy Donnie, who was in town.
And I'm going to guess you have online presence?
Yes, SoundCloud and Bandcamp.
So they can hear a lot of your music up through SoundCloud.
Yeah, Dangerous Lines is up there. I am needing to get some more stuff recorded. I've got a lot more songs that I need to get down still.
You on Facebook?
Yeah, Kevbo Searle on Facebook as well.
All right, so you can find him on Facebook. You can check him out there online. You can listen on SoundCloud, and you can listen now because we're going to talk about another one of your songs. You were talking about kind of transitioning a little bit, changing your sound a little. And this next song you said earlier kind of reflects that.
Yeah.
Before we got started talking, we were discussing your songs and tune called Great Uncle Raleigh.
Yeah, the ballad of Great Uncle Raleigh. This one is sort of a fictionalization of a true story about my uncle who was killed actually whenever a tree or part of a tree fell on top of him. And when I was told this story as a kid, whoever told it to me, the word was that he folded. I guess it was my dad. Folded like an accordion, and that image just stuck with me, and it was just really powerful. As you know, changed the dates and the names, and but sort of took the attitude or the experience of this person and imagined it, and sort of made a song out of it.
All right, well, let's give that a listen then. The Ballad of Great Uncle Raleigh. This is Kevbo Searle on the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7. It is the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7 as we wind things down tonight, talking with Kevbo Searle about his music. And you have the one disc already under your belt. Mm-hmm. I believe you said you have that available up on SoundCloud.
Yeah, it's on SoundCloud. It's also available I'm on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, maybe a few others. So yeah, you can type in Kevbo Searle, Spotify, and I'll come up.
Being on all these different sites and being connected with all the different places you can distribute music, has that been a blessing? Or
yeah, so far I haven't really been able to push it. I've honestly, like this phase in my life, I've just been producing a lot of songs, and that's kind of been the focus of my energy at this point in time. I've described it as like a little cocoon phase that I'm in. So I was fortunate enough to get this album put out, but I'm not pushing it other than, these kind of standard places. And I'm really grateful to be on the radio today and be able to talk about it too. But I guess all my energy right now has been in actual songwriting still. So I'm willing for that to come kind of as it happens. And I'm not in a huge hurry, but at the same time, I'm always looking for like a new place to play. And we've done some shows around town at events and things like that.
So how many songs, you say you're in your cocoon phase, you're writing a lot of songs. Yeah. How many songs are we talking?
Right now I've got probably like 25 or so more songs than what's on the album that I really like to put out. So I've got a lot, and I need to do something with them.
Now, when you say you've got them, are they just ideas, or are they
they're it's performances that we do live, all the time. Oh. Yeah, so they're put together, and they just need to hit the red button.
Need to hit the record button and get it going. So you're online, you're on the websites. People can listen to it there. You're out hitting it, Char. Yeah. What's next?
That's a good question. I'm kind of looking to open the cocoon sometime soon and see what pops out. But it's always uncertain, and you can make whatever plans you want to. But I think that the most important thing that I've been doing right now is just being true to myself as an artist and prioritizing that in my life, and letting that guide whatever decisions I make and whatever places I go. I definitely have my eyes on places outside of Cookeville. But
where's the one place you want to get to?
I don't know. I don't think I've been there yet.
Well, I was going to ask if you'd done some traveling to go do some shows.
We went to. I went with my girlfriend to Clarksdale, Mississippi. That was so much fun. I could go back there again. But that's
Delta
the home
Blues.
of the Delta Blues.
Yeah,
We stumbled on it. Dylan's got a Lion Thunder rolling over Clarksdale, and that happened to us. Didn't even mean for it to, but we were just looking for Highway 61. We found it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But just places anywhere where music is valued and really ingrained.
Well, you can find out more about him online. Do you have a general location where they can go for all of this? Just one website?
Facebook is the best link, yeah.
Facebook is your best link. He's got links to everything. Yeah. He's got links to the music. He's got links to all that.
Or Spotify also. I mean, it's right there if you look at it.
And at some point, you'll have out another disc.
Yes.
Before it gets to be 30 songs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kevbo, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us tonight.
Thanks a lot, Greg.
This has been the 9 o'clock news local edition on Rock 93.7.